Hey Frontline fans, welcome back to Comic Frontline and Fans. You're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to bring you another episode of Spider Slayer's Haul, episode number 42. Unfortunately, yes, I still do not have any comics to show you guys. But as promised, I am going to discuss with you guys the books that I'm going to read this week, and also I'm going to discuss with you books that I'm possibly dropping going forward once I do actually continue to buy my comic books again. So let's talk about this, shall we? Alright, so the first book that I'm obviously going to read this week has to do with Amazing Spider-Man issue number 23, as this is a Clone Conspiracy tie-in, and I've really enjoyed this series so far, so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how this all ties into the latest issue of Clone Conspiracy. So if we're talking about the Amazing Spider-Man, that means I'm also getting, obviously, the amazing, Clone Conspiracy Part 4 of 5, as this is like the penultimate issue where things are getting close to getting wrapped up. What's going to happen, what's going to be the ramifications, the big finale, what's going to happen with Ben. There's just all kinds of things going on, and I think that's going to happen in this issue. So those are the two books that I'm looking forward to. Next book that I will be reading this week is Aquaman issue number 15. Now, even though I've enjoyed this series for me was really strong in the very beginning, in the original story arc. Now that it has dived more towards Atlantis and the characters in Atlantis, I can't find myself relate to them at all. So it's kind of just been there for me. But when it comes to Aquaman and Mirror themselves, I think that's when the book shines. But the supporting cast just doesn't do it for me, so it's been dragging the book down. So this book I'm really on the fence about. I'm not sure if I'm going to be continuing to read it. We'll see what happens, as this is the conclusion to the story arc known The Deluge. Alright, so the next book that I'll be reading this week is Batman issue number 15. It's titled Streets and Swamps. And, you know, I'm trying to read it here. It says, Swamp Thing comes to Gotham City with a mysterious request for Batman, but the longtime allies will have to make up for lost time. So this is a Swamp Thing and Batman issue. If you're a fan of Swamp Thing, this could be good. So we'll see what happens with the whole Batman thing. You know, this series has been good, but I felt like that it's gotten away from that original story arc with Gotham and Gotham Girl. We've gotten this whole Bane situation, and so things have been a little bit different for me. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Alright, next is Black Hammer Giant-Sized Annual. Now, this is pretty cool. This book has been focused around the original, you know, the cast of the book, so it gets its readers familiar with who these characters are, and it's been dropping seeds of the story to come. So I think Jeff Lemire has done a really good job. It'll be interesting to see what this story really is about. It is a $5.99 price point, so I want to see if it's really worth that price point, but I'm looking forward to it. Alright, so the next book that we're going to talk about is independent comic from Image. It's called Curse Words number 1. If you guys are not familiar with this book, I'll read a description real quick. It says, The Devil's Devil, Part 1. It's a new ongoing series from Charles Soule and Ryan Brown, and it's a wizard has appeared in, let me get the description, in New York City, and he's casting wonderful spells, getting famous, getting rich. It's great, but it's not. The wizard has everyone fooled. He's actually an evil wizard, and evil things are on the way. Curse Words is a gonzo modern fantasy full of darkness, light, and magic. So, you know, I always try these Image books because you never know which one's going to stick. It might take a couple issues. So I'm definitely looking forward to that one. We'll see where that one actually goes. Alright, so next is Green Lantern issue number 15. Ghosts of the Past. Jessica and Simon head to the Portland on a case that's close to the heart the murder of Jessica Cruz's friends, and now that she has some ring singing experience. It's a new story arc, so I'm not know what to expect from this particular story, but I really enjoyed Green Lanterns as a whole. I really love the Phantom Lantern story, so now we'll see where this next story arc goes. Next is the Invincible Iron Man issue number 3. This is a story that has to deal with Riri Williams. In the last issue, she was introduced to Tony Stark's AI, and he's been kind of training her, and she outsmarted him, which I thought was kind of cool. But this story has been good, but it hasn't like grasped me yet. I still haven't come to terms that she is kind of the replacement for Iron Man. So we'll see where this one goes as well. I hope Brian Michael Bendis can keep this a really solid story, because this is the Iron Man that we're going to get right now. So we'll see what happens. So this is Invincible Iron Man issue number 3. Alright, next is the Justice League Suicide Squad part 5 of 6. In the last issue, we've gotten to see Maxwell Lord's intention, obviously, to take over the universe. He's found this jewel to take over the Justice League to do battle against the Suicide Squad. So pretty interesting stuff. It reminds me of good 90s comics, a lot of fighting, a lot of battling, a lot of the last issue with Lobo in it. I thought that was pretty cool. And then we get the Justice League issue number 13 tie-in book, where it ties in, I guess, with Harley herself is involved in it, so that we have that one. Another book that hasn't been out in a while is Kill or Be Killed issue number 5. That's where we're at with this book. Brewbreaker is the writer for this. This book has been great. It's kind of like this psychological thriller where you have this guy who thinks he's possessed by a demon, and if he doesn't kill a soul within, I forgot if it's like a week or something like that, or a month, he's going to die. This demon is going to kill him. But we haven't gotten the revelation yet if he is psycho or if this is a true thing. He's killed like his best friend's brother. He's done all kinds of crazy things. So this has been pretty cool. And I can't wait to read this issue. So this is Kill or Be Killed issue number 5. Alright. Next we have Manifest Destiny issue number 25. Hard to believe this book has been out for 25 issues. I think that's freaking awesome. This is that horror genre type of book that takes place back in the I'm trying to remember, the 1700s, I think it was. Could be wrong on that, but it's about Lewis and Clark, and they go on all these ventures and they come against all these crazy creatures. So this is a new story arc starting off in the new year. Can't wait to see where this book actually goes. So really cool stuff here. Alright, next is the official number 1 to Mighty Captain Marvel issue number 1. I think we're going to see how Carol deals with her situation after Civil War. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I enjoyed the first story. We'll see where the second one goes. Next is the new Marvel event everyone has been waiting for, and that is Monsters Unleashed issue number 5. I am going to do a review on Comic Frontline for this book. I have to see how kooky, how comical, what the story's about, why the monsters are here. It's gonna be crazy. So I am going to do a review on this. Hopefully I don't hate it. Hey, maybe it'll be the best comic of the year. I mean, I know it's early yet, but you never know. You can always get your hopes up. Alright, next is the second issue to US Avengers issue number 2. We were introduced to this team. Sunspot's the leader. We get some generic B-listed characters in this book. We get some generic Hulk guy. He can only be a Hulk for like an hour and a half. It's just like way out there. We get this female Captain America. I think she's from the future. I haven't known. So I don't know. We'll see where this one goes. This is another one that is kind of on the fence. I'm giving it like a story arc to see where it pans out. Alright, Spider-Gwen fans out there, are you ready for Spider-Gwen issue number 16? This is another book that is playing off the heels of Spider-Man. They're doing like this crossover event because Miles kissed Gwen. And so we're left hanging about how this relationship really got going to the point where they kissed. Maybe Miles has never really kissed a girl before, and Gwen is like, here, I'll kiss you, and then that's how it is. Maybe that's all it is. But you gotta appreciate the story on how Miles is telling his friends. He's like, you know, one of the guys just telling, hey, this is what I did today, and this is cool. So I think it's kind of cool how he gets to share his secret with his friends. All right, next book that we're gonna talk about is Superman issue number 15, as that continues the multiplicity storyline. It's part 2. We have Superman and new Superman fight alongside an army of Superman across from the multiverse. I want to say that I wasn't a huge fan of this first issue. It just felt very rushed, and he met the other Superman real quick, and I wasn't really keen on this book, but we'll see where this one goes. Alright, next is Trinity issue number 5, Better Together. This is part 5, and it continues the story with Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman as they must battle their lives against all these foes. I think it's still dealing with Poison Ivy. It focused on Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and now I guess they're going to come to the conclusion of this actual story arc. Artwork has been solid. The storytelling has been solid as well. So $2.99. Now, in case you guys haven't heard, DC is raising their prices right now for 15 of its titles. And it's not the better titles, it's like the secondary titles. The titles that don't get shipped twice monthly. So they're raising their prices from $2.99 to $3.99. So now that you get the books that are twice shipped, they're $2.99, so you're spending $6 a month on it, and now you're spending $3.99 on the books that were originally $2.99. So once again, DC is raising their prices, just like they did with New 52. Why can't we just keep it that way? My key thing is what's going to happen, right, with these stories. These stories tend to be a little bit shorter than Marvel books. Marvel's books charged that extra $1, but you do get extra pages in there, and you get the digital code. DC now is putting the digital code in there with their books too. So we'll see what happens with that. All right, next, last but not least, the final book that I'll be talking about today, guys, is Venom issue number 3. I have not been liking Venom. I don't like the main character. I can't even remember his name. It seems so out there for me. I'm not a fan of it. It has nothing to do, this character, with the Marvel Universe in its past or anything like that. I'm going to try this issue. We'll see what happens and if it improves. The description here says, after working as a guardian of the galaxy and a space knight, all the Venom symbiote's good deeds have left it abandoned and starving alone. And that's all that's left as the description. So we'll see what happens with Venom. So guys, there you have it. There are the books that I'm definitely reading for this week. Don't worry, I will be picking up my books again. It just might be a month or so before I start getting this consistent money coming in again. So, but those are the books that I'm reading. So now it's your turn in the comments below to tell me which books you're reading for this week, which ones you're not so excited for, which ones you're thinking of dropping, and what do you think about that whole DC thing raising the prices once again. So again, fans, as always, thank you for watching Comic Frontline. Don't forget to check out comicfrontline.com. Don't forget to check out our Facebook page. If you want more of Mike Spider Slayer, you can check out my own individual channel, Comic Book Corner 2.0. And again, fans, take care, and I'll see you in the next review. Bye.